All we can do is be there for each other in these times when we don't know what to do. All we can do is be there for each other and help each other through. All we can do is be there for each other in these times when we don't know what to do. All we can do is be there for each other and help each other through. Twists and turns, unexpected, day by day, moving on. I don't have all the answers, come what may, right or wrong. All we can do is be there for each other in these times when we don't know what to do. All we can do is be there for each other and help each other through. Crashing waves touch the shore. Time moves faster every day. Ebb and flow, no control. All that's left to say. All we can do is be there for each other in these times when we don't know what to do. All we can do is be there for each other and help each other through. And help each other through.
Reminder, let's take those really special, important words and come together for our opening treatment, our word for affirmative prayer. So as we come together in this moment, we remember, we are reminded that there is one power and presence, one mind. We call it God, we call it good, we call it love, we call it life. And we know that this life is expressing, is emanating through and as each one of us. Through and as the consciousness of all life. And so as we show up for each other, we are showing up as this consciousness of love and life. For spirit individualizes itself through the unique expression of each one of us and emanates its love and peace and joy through our expression. And how beautiful that we get to come together to share our unique diversity with each other, knowing that at the core, we are all one, expressing so beautifully and there for each other, for Spirit is there for us in every moment. That is what allows us to show up. That is what allows us to trust life, because we are trusting God. We are trusting Source. We are trusting Source expressing as every single experience, no matter what Our individual minds may call it, it is all God in form, God in action, and we, each one of us, is that form expression, and we are informed by love itself. And so I know that this service, this celebration today is informed by God, by source, by love, and allows us to share beautiful community with each other, to share love, to see each other truly and deeply as the truth of who we are. That is what we celebrate here at Center for Spiritual Living Morristown. So I know that this Sunday celebration is blessed, the music, the message, the fellowship. We all come together to celebrate God. And so we allow ourselves to be filled with gratitude and appreciation for this teaching, for this truth, for this community, for this day, for this life. And as I release this word into the law of mind action, knowing, trusting that it is filled and presented in the most glorious way, we say together, and so it is. Good morning. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Morristown, a vibrant community where love, joy, and inclusivity are at the heart of everything that we do. Here we honor the unique journey of every soul, offering a place of healing, growth, celebration, and transformation. Together we create an openness, an atmosphere of openness and love where every person is seen and valued and accepted just as they are. I'm Reverend Janice Valera. I'm honored to be a minister here at Center for Spiritual Living Morristown. And I thank you for joining us, whether you are here in the room, whether you're watching on the live stream, whether you come back later and watch the recording. We are so happy that you are with us. And if this is your first time here, or you haven't yet done so, we invite you to get a welcome packet, which I'm sure somebody probably gave you, but you can always, pick one up later. Complete a new visitor form, which is in the back, so we can include you in events at our center. And you're invited to choose a free book from the bookcase as our gift to you today. And we do publish a constant contact newsletter every week. It is our main form of communication. So if you're not getting that, there is also a sign-up sheet in the back where you just leave your email and you will be included in that, so you hear about all the wonderful things that are happening here in the center. You can also visit our website, which is cslmorristown.org. So, first Sunday of the month, wonderful to share the service with my buds. The wonderful Rhonda Dene, our musician, the powerful speaker, Kris Ferraro. So our CSL theme for 2026 is open at the top. Right. And the monthly theme for August, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, because the words are like, what? Monthly theme is the fear and the furious. We're going to explore that a little bit more today and this month. And Chris's topic today is very gentle, learning to trust life again. So thank you for that. So yeah, I do want to talk about the August theme because, it can sound a little dramatic. The fear and the furious. And maybe even a little bit unsettling. But I invite us to hear it through a different lens. What if this month isn't really about fear and anger at all? What if it's about our relationship with them? Science Mind teaches us that every experience becomes a doorway to greater awareness. That's what our teaching's about. And so fear and anger are not signs that something has gone wrong, or that we've somehow lost our spiritual connection, although it may feel that way. They're just part of the human experience. They're simply energies asking to be noticed, asking to be understood, and ready to be transformed. Fear can remind us where we long to grow. Anger can reveal what we deeply value and where love is calling us to create something better. Neither emotion has to define us. Neither emotion gets to make our decisions. Instead, they can become invitations to return to our spiritual center, to that place within us where wisdom and compassion compassion and courage and love always reside. So perhaps our intention this month is not to eliminate fear or suppress anger, but to meet them with curiosity rather than judgment, and with compassion rather than resistance. How many people resist fear and anger when you feel it? Okay, so compassion. And with the quiet confidence that the presence within us is always greater than any emotion that is passing through us. So as we practice this together, we can discover that even life's most challenging emotions can become sacred messengers. They can gently guide us back to the truth of who we are. We are whole, that we are resilient, that we are deeply loved, and that we are forever connected to the one mind and the one life. And from that awareness, we naturally recognize that presence also in one another. So as we move into our Namaste practice today, let us set the intention to meet ourselves and others that we meet today, and even this month, with open hearts, with compassionate eyes, and with the willingness to see beyond the fear, beyond the anger, beyond the fierce and the furious, into the truth of our shared divinity. So I invite you to stand. I like to stand to practice our Namaste practice, so you would see others. So let us recognize that divine divinity that is within each one of us. Namaste. Namaste, Julie. Namaste. Thank you.
There are things that I prefer. There are things that I don't. There are dreams that I pursue, and dreams that I want. No matter what perspective I bring, there's a question that remains. Am I willing? Love is listening. Am I willing? The law is ready. Am I willing to allow the good in my life? I can choose to be a victim of every circumstance, or I can choose to be a victim and strut around in a winning prance. No matter what appears to be, that question still remains. Am I willing? Love is listening. Am I willing? The law is ready. Am I willing to allow the good in my life? There is good all around. It is there for the taking. Step into your birthright. When accept the good in my life. I am willing. Love is listening. I am willing. The law is ready. I am willing to allow all good in my life. I am willing to accept the good in my life.
Good morning, everyone. So happy to be back with you all. This is going to be very interesting because when in my talk, you're going to see so clearly reflected what Janice just said and what Rhonda did in the music. And this happens all the time. You would think that we would get together and have meetings and hash it all out, but we don't. We just trust. And that's what this talk is all about. It's about learning to trust life again. And we often learn to trust life again through the people that are in our lives. And so I just want to thank them both for that, for being part of the First Sunday Dream Team. So for those of you that have heard me speak before, some of this may not be new, and for those of you that are just meeting me for the first time, some of this is going to come across as autobiographical. There's a reason for that, though. It's because I do whatever I can to walk the walk and not just talk the talk of living a spiritual life. And so those lessons that come up for me just become clear ideas that can be shared with others that can be beneficial. So this topic came out of me going through my second summer in a row with a major health crisis. And as I came out of this major health crisis of this summer, what I realized is that it was bringing to the surface times in my life where I had experienced disappointment or betrayal or shock, or maybe just things didn't work out the way that I thought that they were going to. I don't know if anybody gets to midlife and hasn't had one of those experiences. I will often have clients who will say to me, well, it wasn't supposed to be this way, right? They had an idea that they were going to reach a certain age or a certain stage in their life and that it would have looked differently than what they had encountered. Each and every one of us has gone through experiences that have stretched us and have enabled us to move through growth experiences. And it's not just our spiritual tradition, it's most spiritual traditions believe that we encounter challenges so that we grow, so that we get to become more of the true essence of who we really, really are. And sometimes we have moments in our lives that divide time from before and after. Maybe before something happened, you believed one thing, and afterwards you believed something else. And out of those disappointments, we may come up with different beliefs of, I have to do everything myself. Hyper-independence. I've got to do it all. I can't depend on other people. It may sound like not being able to relax. You have to stay vigilant. You have to look for danger around every corner. You might believe that if you expect disappointment or you try to avoid it, that somehow that you can't be hurt. And a big one that can come up in those of us that are in New Thought communities where we're working on creating our desires and being creative beings, there can be this underlying belief hanging out in the background of our life that says, if I don't desire more, then I can't lose. And sometimes that's what's interfering with our treatments, with our affirmative prayers, with our practices, not always creating what we want. We have to feel safe enough to be able to have the things that we truly desire. So I want to talk about what trust really is, because the voice of distrust and the voice of trust are very, very different. The voice of distrust says, I must control everything. The voice of trust says, I can take one step at a time. So we have rigidity versus gentleness. The voice of distrust might say, I am alone. The voice of trust says, I am supported. And that's supported in the invisible realm, by spirit, by life, by divine love, and also support in the physical realm through people, money, things showing up that we need. Distrust might say, I have to know the outcome to start. Have you ever had that experience? Someone comes to you and says, I have this brilliant idea. We should do this. And you think, whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't get ahead of yourself there. I don't know exactly what's going to happen here. Trust says, I can be present to the process and open to the outcome. And often in the creative process, what we start on ends up looking quite different. Are there any artists in the room? People that write songs, right, and do paint and do those kinds of things? Have you ever had an idea for something that you wanted to create, and then when you actually got down to do it, it came out differently than what you had expected, right? The process took off with you along for the ride, and what the outcome wasn't exactly what you had in mind. It's no different when we're trying to create more good in our lives. The voice of distrust says, fear is danger. The voice of trust says, fear is information, right? It is going to bring up fear if you're trying to do something new, or if you're coming back from something that has sidelined you. There could be fear there about getting back going. But it doesn't mean that you're in danger. It just means that you're encountering the unknown. So the information is saying, this feels risky for some reason. And when we know that that's the information, then that's where we can apply our prayers. That's where we can reach out to our prayer partners or get support from our community. But we need to recognize it as such, as the important information it's bringing us. Distrust says, my heart must remain closed to stay safe. Trust says, my heart can open wisely, discerningly. I've spent a lot of time protecting my heart throughout my lifetime. And what I will say to you is that it never prevented any hurt. It just prevented things coming into my world that I really, really desire. And now I really live very open-heartedly and with such radical honesty, which not everybody really loves so much about me. It's not really widely accepted, I will say that. But when I do that, no matter what comes, I get to be fully immersed in the experience of what's happening, no matter what label I put on it, and more of life gets to flow through me. And out of that, the expansion continues. So I do walks in the evening in this little park, and I go when it's about to be sunset. And so most of the time the rest of the park kind of clears out. And as I walk on this little pathway, all these little deers and bunnies come out. And I live in Montclair, which is a pretty urban suburb. I've never seen more deer in my entire life. Every single day, they're all over the place. And so as the park clears out and I start my walk, they start coming out. and they're all out there nibbling and doing their things. And as I'm walking along, trying to walk lightly on the earth, but maybe lumbering a little bit at times, I will know when they sense that I'm coming close, because there's a sudden, everybody, they all get the signal at the same time, right? Both the rabbits and the deer somehow are all in communion with each other, and they all go, what's happening here, right? They stop because they have to discern if survival is okay for them. They need to know and assess whether I'm a threat. And most of the time, they pretty much, once they've sort of scoped me out, they just go back to eating. Or they might move a little bit further away from the path. But generally speaking, they go back to life. We go through similar experiences where we're on edge, we're hypervigilant, we're looking for danger. But it's easy for animals, because animals mostly live in the present moment. They're in the here and now. I'm eating, I'm eating, I'm eating. There's a person, there's a person, there's a person, okay? I'm eating, I'm eating, I'm eating. That is how they go through life. There's an expression, you can't teach old dogs new trick. 100% not true. I have seen old animals, cats, dogs, and others learn all sorts of new things because they don't have an identity that says that they can't do it. They're living in the here and now. And often when they experience a danger, they will shake, 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 shake. They reset their nervous system and they just go back to life. But we remember feelings. We have the memories, and we sometimes carry that preparing for dangers in our bodies much, much longer than those dangers have ever existed. And that is why new thought is so important, because humans become habituated. We just sort of live out those same old patterns. Have you ever run into somebody you haven't seen in like 20 years and they're literally saying the same things that they were saying? I know you, it's almost like they had a tape recorder and you touch them and you hit play and they're like, ba 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 ba, and I got divorced, and you're like, I know, it was 20 years ago, and they're still talking about it, right? We are creatures of habit. So with new thought, we introduce a new thought. We introduce a new idea, a new possibility, because we know that we are not bound by the past. Even if that past was a month ago, we are not bound by it. This is where our teaching comes in. This is why it is so important, because we still have most of humanity believing that they are at the mercy of their past experiences, when in every moment we have the opportunity to create a new. Challenges are here for a reason. I know that they are here for our growth. So I would like to just talk briefly about using challenges for growth so that we actually get the learning out of the experiences that we have been through. There are three different ways that I see challenges coming up that we can use them to expand who we are. The first one is that every challenge creates an opportunity to act differently. We can respond versus reacting. We could take the high road versus the low road. We can act from love instead of fear. Acting or behaving differently to adversity takes practice. So when those adverse experiences come up, we want to make sure we use them to practice responding differently, not as from a victim consciousness, but from one who knows that they are not bound by what is happening. The second way is that every challenge gives us an opportunity to learn something useful. A few years ago, I injured my ankle. It was not healing. I went through all the alternative and traditional medicinal things to heal. It wasn't healing, it wasn't healing, it wasn't healing. Finally, my podiatrist said, okay, we're going to send you for physical therapy. And I had never been before. I don't know why I was even resistant to it, but for whatever reason, I took forever, like a month, to make the first appointment. And then I went, and it was a revelation. I had 2 different people helping me learn how to move in ways that were beneficial. I learned all these different exercises to strengthen my feet and my knees, which is really important for when we're aging, right? I got to learn all of these new things that I wouldn't have learned if I didn't have an injury. So all of us have a chance to learn something new out of this. And I know that every challenge gives us a chance to turn it around to alleviate suffering for others. And sometimes that just looks like holding compassionate space for someone else who may be going through what you too have experienced. There are some support groups that's where the real magic happens. Some can become embroiled in victimization, and some people get together and they hold space for one another. They say, I know you. I've walked in your shoes. And as they do that, suddenly transformation happens when people come together who have a like-minded experience. And then there's people that have endured horrific challenges, lost a child, and have created foundations or nonprofits or gone on TV to educate people about what happened to their child, to try to prevent that from happening to someone else. These are all very valuable ways that we can use what has shown up in our lives to benefit ourselves, our spiritual growth, and also help humanity all around us. So, how do we learn to trust life again? Well, first, we gotta start small. Baby steps. I'm not really great with baby steps. I'm a want a quantum leap kind of person in every opportunity, and it all should have happened yesterday, please. But baby steps is where we start to get our footing again. Don't ask yourself to trust that your entire future is going to be okay. How about trusting about what's going to happen within the next hour and within your next breath? To trust that your next step is going to begin to lead you forward. We can begin right there with taking the gentle path and knowing that life itself will rise up to meet us. Even if those steps are a little shaky, you will gain strength as you go along, building on the step that came before. Second, become curious, not judgmental. It's exactly what Janice was talking about. Curiosity, very gentle, it's a very open feeling. So there's some questions that I like to ask, but I make sure I'm doing it from a place of curiosity. I'd like to know what could possibly be here, rather than from shaming or being judgmental with myself or with anyone else. So some questions I like to ask myself: what beauty and what blessings have I stopped noticing? When we're in our stuff, we can get in the car, drive to a familiar location, and not even remember that drive, right? Because we're in our head, we're ruminating, we're thinking about what happened, and you may have missed something really beautiful along that trip. And that's just an example of it. Because I will tell you that when you put on the glasses of seeing through the filter of beauty, you will see that beauty is absolutely everywhere. I've had times where I've been in a heightened state where I have looked at a dumpster and been like, isn't this miraculous? There's a place we put our garbage, the colors that are there. There is beauty everywhere. That's what we teach in New Thought. It's all oneness, right? So if it's all oneness, it's important that we're not making anything wrong or bad. And as we step into a greater state of oneness, we realize the foundation of the energy that's present within all. And as we take that in, we realize it's all here and it's all a part of us, all reflections of all of us as we come forward with such bravery to come back into the earth plane at this time. We are warriors, warriors of love. I really fully believe that. If we are here walking around at this time, it is not an accident. I heard some mystical teachers say that for thousands of years, souls on the other side were competing to come back at this time. Everybody wanted to be here to get all of the growth opportunity because there was going to be massive amounts of advancement. You know, and when I first heard it, I laughed. And then I thought about it and I was like, I don't know, there's something that's resonating within me. There's something within that because I know just in my own lifetime, the family system I came out of, the childhood that I came out of, and even where I am now at midlife has been extraordinary. And I'm just a regular person. So if that's just been me, what is available for each and every one of us? Each of us with our own unique soul, eternally connected to all that God and life is, available right here and right now. The next question, what help have I not accepted? It's easy to be like, no, I got this. Sometimes we have that on autopilot. Somebody offers to help and we immediately go, I got it. So in the 2 weeks after my recent surgery, I have an upstairs neighbor who takes care of my cats when I'm out of town. She's their auntie. And they love her and she loves them. And then I got another cat sitter when I was gone for a long time and they were mad and she was mad, so now she's back. I thought it was too much to ask, but she's like, I never said that I needed somebody else to help me. I wanted to do this. So while I was in the hospital, she immediately stepped in, took care of them effortlessly, already had the keys, bought them food, did all her little spoiling things that she likes to do. They even have their little rituals while I'm gone. Sometimes I come back and they're like, oh, you're back already? You know, one of them is like that. And she's like, when I got back in the hospital, she's like, oh, I didn't realize it'd be so soon. That's when you know you've got a really good cat sitter, okay? And so in the weeks following, she lives right upstairs from me. She was bringing up groceries. I couldn't do any heavy lifting. And then she changed litter boxes and did some stuff for me that I just couldn't do. And then I said, I'm good. I don't need this anymore. I still did need the help, but I'm a stubborn person. And I was like, oh, I can do it. I don't need your help. And so I would let her know when I was going to a doctor's appointment, and she'd say, oh, can I come in and visit the cats while you're at the doctor's? And I'd say, sure. And I'd come home and the dishes would be done and the litter boxes would be changed and a big thing of laundry that was sitting there was folded. So even when I tried to push away the help was showing. And what's so important about that help? That's how we come into safety. When we know that we can trust other people to be there for us. Another question is, are there new possibilities I could not be allowing? Interesting question to take into meditation. Is there anything possible out there that at this moment I could somehow not be allowing? The question itself invites us to open up to possibilities. Whether that's factual or not doesn't make any difference. We want to sit in the openness of what could be unfolding for us. So it's important that we practice receiving compliments, help, rest. That's been one of the lessons out of the 2 health challenges that I've had these past 2 summers, is really, I could say, yeah, rest is great, But, you know, I'm a type A mystic and I just like to get stuff done all the time. Until I had to. And then the value of rest became apparent to me. But sometimes we feel like we have to earn rest, right? Sometimes we think that someone has to give us permission for us to have rest. Don't wait for that to happen. You'll be waiting a long time. So give yourself permission for that. And allowing in the love and allowing in the joy. This is how we come into the practice of the infinity symbol of giving and receiving. It's only in our receiving that we have more to give. And then in the more of that giving, the more that we're able to receive, right? It's an eternal cycle that's unfolding all the time. And when we're not receiving, we shut down that process. And so we might think that life has abandoned us, but maybe in shutting out all that is being offered to us, that we have actually stopped life from being able to help us. So we're going to do a little process together today, because you know I like to make it experiential. So I invite everybody, if you feel comfortable, to get comfortable in your seat. Close your eyes if that feels right for you. And bring your awareness to the chair that is supporting you and the floor beneath your feet, so you know that it's safe to relax. And we're going to bring our awareness to the breath, to let go of everything outside of us and turn within. Breathing in, blowing it out. Breathing in, blowing out. Breathing in, blowing out. And so imagine that you are in a safe space, maybe out in nature, and before you, you see a beautiful cottage. And know that this cottage holds many rooms with many memories and many experiences from your life. And approach the door and consciously turn the knob and open it. And as you step in, you see a big room that's a square. And as you step into the middle of this square room, there's a wall on the left, a wall directly in front, and a wall on the right. And each of these walls has 3 doors. And the 3 doors on the left are rooms that are filled with energy from some past disappointments. But don't worry, we're not going to go into those rooms. But you may see even a label or a sign pop up on the doors letting you know what they are, or you may get some images or hear something that lets you know what's contained in those rooms. And so within those doors on the left is just energy that didn't have an opportunity to flow. And those rooms are filled with energy that is designed to flow. And so what we're going to do is we're going to walk outside of the house and open the 3 windows that connect to those doors. So imagine you're walking out, You're gonna make a right, and then another right, and on the outside wall are these 3 windows. And together we're gonna know you're not alone. Spirit is with you, and the energy of life has been waiting to flow. And so take some time, and one at a time, open the windows and allow whatever is in there to simply flow out. It knows what balance is needed. You don't have to direct it. It knows exactly what to do. And while this is happening, take a nice deep breath in through the nose and blow it out. Let's do 2 more for each room. Breathing in, blowing out. Breathing in, blowing out. And you may see inside the windows, or maybe you don't want to look in at all. But know that life, that God, that love is cleansing, balancing, and clearing out, and creating a spaciousness in which new seeds can be planted. And now, before we close, I'd like you to go back into the house. The 3 doors that are directly in front of you are present experiences, and the 3 doors on the right are future experiences. You can return to these, clean what needs to be cleaned, or amplify the joyful experiences that are held there, the happy times, the good changes that have happened. And you can return to this if you ever want to and feel ready to do that. And so we're going to close with some affirmations. And you can repeat these out loud after me, or you can do them silently. Do whatever feels comfortable for you. It is safe for me to soften. It is safe for me to breathe. It is safe for me to release what no longer serves me. I am willing to shed past disappointments. And I am allowing this shedding to be easy and gentle. I am making room for new life. I remember that love has sustained me. I remember that love has never abandoned me. I remember that Spirit is always with me. And I know that God is providing for me. I am willing to trust a little more today. And I know that I am safe. Let's do a couple more of those breaths. Breathing in, blowing out. flowing out. And when you're ready, feel the chair supporting you, wiggle your fingers and your toes, and just come back with all of us. I just want to end with something very simple. The truth is that trusting life again is often not one grand heroic act. It is 1,000 small acts of courage, allowing ourselves to laugh again, for hope to turn back into faith, for loving to lead us forward. We have what we need to begin again. And Spirit, I don't think, is asking us to leap. I think that Spirit is just asking us to take the next step. And it's easier when we do that together. That's the gift of community and spaces like this, where we can come together and be with one another. And as we move through those challenges, those growth experiences, we get to hold space for one another and hold the truth of knowing that Spirit has never left us and everything that we need to move forward is already here. It's all inside and we have the key. We just sometimes need to remember for one another. Thank you.
Simple and plain, no superpowers, no famous name, but I stand tall, 'cause I believe something greater is here alive in me. I have felt the Spirit burning in my soul, deep in my soul. I will give love, I will speak peace, all because of the love that's got a hold of me. So I open, so amazing, it takes my breath away when it occurs to me. In a world where so many feel lost, I know God. I am one, but not alone. With you, I am home. Side by side, we find the truth. When the Spirit in me meets the same in you, I have found this fire burning in my soul, deep in my soul. I will give love, I will speak peace, all because of a love that's got a hold of me. So open, so amazing, it takes my breath away when it occurs to me. In a world where so many feel lost, I know God. feel lost. In a world where so many feel lost. In a world where so many feel lost. I know God. I know God.
It's such a privilege to be up here, especially when I come, when we first start the service, people are, we're just getting here, getting comfortable, look at everyone who's here. And that's good, that's what we do. And then after the beautiful message, music, everybody is like this soft version of yourself. Like it's just an honor, and I thank you for going along for the whole experience. And I just loved everything that you said today. I just love how you walk your talk and share your experiences. It's so meaningful every time. So thank you, everybody. So it's time to share our abundance with each other. We are all so grateful for the gifts in our lives. Each one of you is a gift here to the center. And you give so freely in so many ways, our volunteers and all that you do in service and bringing your energy and your love. And also your resources, which helps us to continue to thrive and be a beacon of light in the community. So many of you do give and all the platforms that are available. On the back, there are QR codes for PayPal, for Zelle, for Venmo. Our website, but we also, take real money. That still works. So, we'll pass this around. You can bless the offering or, add to it. But we are grateful for all the ways that it comes. It really does go for the good of our community. So, let's just join together and be grateful for all of the gifts in our lives. And repeat after me our offering and blessing. Divine love consecrates my gift.
Divine love consecrates my gift.
It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless.
It comes forth to heal, prosper, and bless.
It returns to me multiplied abundantly.
It returns to me multiplied abundantly.
As I share my good,
as I share my good,
I accept my greater good.
I accept my greater good.
And so it is. Circulation in action. Okay, I want to thank Jean Lee for leading the meditations on Wednesdays for the past few months. Thank you so much. She really has a wonderful following. We are going to continue on Wednesdays. Valerie White will be leading meditations for the month of August, and then we're going to have other facilitators. So she is doing it on Wednesdays. The time is a little bit adjusted. Once 9:30, it's going to be 10 o'clock. There are flyers in the back of the QR code, or go to the constant contact, and I think Lynn posted on the community Facebook page, and so we hope you'll join us on Wednesdays for the morning meditation. Okay, back to Jean. So Jean is also bringing in her college friends. Yeah, Jean Lee. And I love that Lynn posted something like, maybe we can find out secret stories about Jean from college. So if that's your incentive, then come. But there will be a folk Americana concert. I'm really proud of this flyer. Thank you. Thank you and AI. Thank you, me and AI. Folk Americana concert featuring Jean's friends from college, Jim Patton and Sherry Brooks, award-winning folk Americana duo from Austin, Texas. So we're doing some down-home Texas-style barbecue that Jean is providing for social. Yeah, this is happening on August 9th, 2 weeks from today. We will be taking some donations.
1 week.
Oh my God. 1 week from today. I'm a little slow this summer down. Like, I love this summer. Let's add a week, but not next week. Okay. Next week, August 9th,
So the barbecue is happening during social hour. Donations will be taken to kind of assist Jean with that. But the concert will be at 2 o'clock. There is a suggested level offering of $20 for the concert only. And just come, you can reserve your spot. There is a Breeze link set up to do that, or just please show up. It's going to be a really fun, beautiful day. Flyers are in the back if you want to like post it and let more people know about it. The following week, 2 weeks from today, on August 16th, Brian from Eclectic Transformation is coming in. He's doing a free workshop at 1:15, and teaching us a kind of breath work that he calls Breathing with the Spirit, an intentional practice for grounded healing. So please come to that, join us for that. We have a new marketing action for August. The marketing team would like you to give us your elevator speech. Everybody knows what that is, right? You know, enough time to get on the elevator, or maybe five floors. on why you attend Center for Spiritual Living Mars, and how it has added meaning to your life as far as purpose or wisdom, spirituality, community, health, etc. Some of the input is going to be used to craft future marketing materials, possibly post on social media. So in the back, this information is displayed, and there are little pieces of paper back there, or half sheets of paper, because it's an elevator speech. We don't need a whole, whole 8.5 by 11, and pens. So if you want to write something, fold it, put it in the basket. We'll accept that, or let Lynn know, or Sal, or send it on email. But we like to hear from you so that we can, send the message out and more people can know about us. First Friday Healing Circle is this Friday, right? August 7th at 7 p.m. With Gail Belluardo. It's a wonderful gathering, and we hope that you can join us for that. There are still magazines in the back. August, because they're two-sided, which they're still the regular price, but they'll go on sale soon. But you want to get in as soon as you can. So they are available in the back. And that's it. What do we do now? Oh, closing treatment. Kris is doing that I'm still like, the whole experience of opening those windows. I don't know how much I let out, maybe too much. Kris will do my closing treatment. Thanks again.
Trust the energy. Sometimes it is a lot inside those rooms. Yeah. I've got so many tears in my eyes from Rhonda, Janice. Such a beautiful thing to come here and to be here. So I'm beginning this prayer with gratitude. Gratitude that we get to come together in this space to learn from one another, to become inspired, and to just let go of what no longer serves. What a beautiful thing that is. That we are here, that there is breath in our lungs, for our beating hearts, for our fingers that move, for our eyes that see, even sometimes with some help. There's so much to be grateful for. And this gratitude comes from the place of recognizing all that God is, all that I'm able to even contemplate from this vantage point, the vastness of God. This incredible energy that takes form as everyone and everything that has ever been or could ever be, and is in the here and now, within me, within you, within all of the circumstances of our lives, the places where it's easy to see and the places where it isn't. There is no separation at all. There is simply oneness. And so this eternal energy, this infinite source within each and every one of us knows us better than we even know ourselves. And so any place within us where we have held back from love, where we have distrusted life, Spirit flows within each and every one of us to those spaces and simply uproots, dissolves, and neutralizes it all now. And in the spaciousness that has been created, divine love flows, reminding us of who we are, reminding us of the light and love within one another, reminding us that even in suffering, there is more overcoming of the suffering. That even in disconnect, there is even more connection. And we turn our focus, we turn our awareness to that which is right, to that which is working, to that which is good, to that which is supporting us. And we breathe into it with our appreciation, our love, and yes, our devotion, that we have never been forgotten, that we are held in the arms of God's grace, and that all of our needs are being met in the most extraordinary of ways. I know that for each of us, when it is time to begin again, we begin. And everything that we need to do that, we already have. And it all shows up, and it shows up right on time. We simply allow it to be here. We allow it to move us forward. And if any fear is there, we reach out and we hold the hand of someone who can hold our truth. And the God in us recognizes the God in them, the majesty of all that is spirit, all that is sacred, reflecting back to us. Each of us loved, each of us divinely supported and guided, each of us moving forward with grace. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, sweet spirit. Thank you for all of it. Even thank you for the challenges that help us grow. Thank you for the expansion that comes out of it. Thank you for the ways that it softens us and enables us to be more compassionate and loving with our human family. And thank you for all the growth that comes out of it, the learning that comes out of it, how it shapes us. And out of the ashes, the phoenix within each of us rises. So I surrender this over, trusting that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and that the Word is still God. We let it go together, and we let it be so. Together, join with me by saying, and so it is. Yay.
Say that. If you don't know how to say what you're feeling, but you feel like you got something to say, when the music all sounds familiar, but you never really learned how to play. If you feel like the next step is waiting, but you don't know where exactly to go, when you're not quite sure of the meaning, but you're certain that you're willing to know, say that, say that, say that, say that. If you're used to flying under the radar, 'cause you're not sure where you wanna be seen, you got much bigger life to step into, but it's still hiding out in your dreams. When you know you have the faith to move mountains, but you're scared, you don't know how to begin, you can call on your higher power and ask for courage to step on in and take a chance and say that, flavor. We got a natural inclination to fry. When we show up, we've got to get braver. And we can't wait for the band to arrive. When you wanna crack your heart wide open, and the words don't seem to open the door, but you secretly love that feeling, and you're positively jumping for joy. Take a chance and say that. Say that, say that. Say that, say that. Say that.
Happy Sunday.
Three things. Next Sunday, it's a big Sunday. Fairy Lane Silver is going to be here doing the service. Her program is called I Am Worthy, and she's doing the music and the message, 11 to 12, just at the service. So you don't want to miss that. Kris will be available for Treatment Express up here after service. And I want to thank Christy and Monica for bringing social hour. So enjoy and have a beautiful day.